everybody. Hi, hello there. Welcome to Indigo Chameleon. We are coming to you on a not common night here on Indigo Chameleon. We normally don't stream on Wednesdays because Indigo Chameleon and I have streams elsewhere, but we are here this evening just because the Plaster Dragon is on a bit of a hiatus as they take a much needed and much earned vacation. But I figured we'd try again with a little bit of awesome Loxodon goodness. I'm your good buddy Scribe. We've got a few announcements before we get started with tonight's game. Um, the Indigo Chameleon is also going on a bit of a hiatus. We've got a little bit of time as we build up to our very first annual Indigo Chameleon Deathmatch Spectacular, as a bunch of players are going. Ooh, ooh, I don't know what that
Tapping your
was.
mic.
Who was tapping their mic? Oh, yeah, don't know where that came from. This little ghost sound, which fits in with tonight's game. We have a death match that's happening. So we ask that you tune in for that and join us for that. That is going to be July 5th. So after you're filled with July 4th goodness and you want to, take some time off, take that next day off work, we ask that you come and join us on Indigo Chameleon. It will be a fully interactive deathmatch. What I mean by that is you will be able to send gold parachutes with items to players of your choice. You will be able to send platinum parachutes, including potions and magic items. You will even be able to assist me, your good buddy Scribe, and send a a monster or maybe two into the battlefield so that all of a sudden they all have to work together to destroy the monster first. So stay tuned to that, and it's going to be way less expensive than our some of normal bit stuff. But I will have some prices that'll be leaked to you guys. That being said, there is also an official phone number for the Indigo Chameleon. We have an Indigo Chameleon hotline that I am very happy with and very happy that we have sort of established. And we've established this so that one, you can leave your feedback and tell us about interesting things happening in your world. You can comment on shows or your favorite characters, but you can also report in this week as we, in case anybody takes over the stream that shouldn't be taking over the stream. I have it on good authority that nobody's going to take over the stream, but just in case they do, you should give us a call. And Indigo and I are going to try to update some of our adventures using the voicemail. So depending on the day that you call in, you'll be able to hear a different sort of adventure that's happening with us. That number for Indigo Chameleon is 386-259-0242. Once again, that phone number is 386-259-0242.
It's up on Twitch.
Up on Twitch and hopefully up on the Discord as well. So all of that being said, let's take a second to go around the group and introduce who you are playing this evening. Somebody sometime. Let's start with you, buddy.
Enzor. I'm a monk.
That works. That works for me. Wolf Corinne, who are you playing in the Loxodon campaign tonight?
Oh, well, I'm Trini. I'm a svelte 450 pounds. And I'll just tell you what, I've just, looking at that Simon over there, he's just so handsome in that full plate armor that he wears.
All right. Simon, how about we go to you then? Tell us a little bit about your character.
Oh, sorry, just doing a little stretching.
No, stretch it out, buddy. You're great.
I am Simon, the team's paladin protector.
It's true. It's very
And
true.
they obviously...
Yeah. No, of course.
Immense.
And behind every good protector, I would not say behind, but let's say in front of, is a bard screaming from the top of his lungs. Tell us a little bit about who you're playing tonight, Oswald.
I wouldn't say screaming. I'd be more like cheering, patting him on the back,
Yeah.
rustling and telling him of his great adventures of our rock in the hard place, Simon the Paladin. So I'm playing Barnum. I will be our team's. I'll be the talker of the team.
And last, a woman who needs no introduction.
Oh, is that me?
Yes.
Oh, hi.
Said we
I'm
can move on.
Lexi.
Since she doesn't need an introduction, we could just move on.
Simon, you are really being annoying right now. My name is Lexi, and I am a druid, and I'm just really, really happy to be here, and I'm really hoping that we get to see some humans tonight because they are just the most adorable things I've ever seen. I just want to hug them all. It's a little hard because of my hands, but that's okay.
This is our cast of characters. Now, for those of you that tuned in, you'll know that there is a lost episode of the Loxodon group that we will be releasing at another time and doing a do-over for, but I wanted a palate cleanser in between. So this is a palate cleanser that I have had kind of brewing in the back of my head a little bit. So Loxodon group, you are meeting with the general, which you do before every sort of major adventure, and you're all sort of getting together and meeting in that small sort of meeting space. And the general is casting minor illusion and other sort of spells and cantrips to paint a beautiful picture on the blank wall in front of you. And he goes, all right, then, Loxodons, my number one group of Tusk, you have proven yourselves in the field many a countless time, but I must send you back once again into the group, into the field. Today, I need you to explore the goings-on of this particular house. And he will cast a spell showing you a very ominous-looking home. It looks to be about 3 stories. It's the greenery and vegetation around the home are somewhat dying or dead at that point. And it looks like an archetypical haunted house. And he goes, we have reports from the town of Fairley that many of the town's children are drawn to this house, and some of the children have gone missing. This fits our MO for some of the other circuses that have come through the area, and we've even heard reports of devilish laughter that seems to be echoing from the different floors of the house. We sent in a different group of adventurers to sort of probe the way. It was a bunch of kids and a weird-looking dog. We sent them forth, and even though they said that they were good at mysteries and even had a machine that they used in assisting the mystery solving, a mystery machine, if you will, they were unable to solve this particular mystery. So I'm sending in my best agents.
Jinkies.
Ruh-roh.
What is this nonsense? Stop it! Stop it! Go and visit with... the name of the estate is the Coughlin Estate. Cofflin, the Coughlin. It is named after a woman who was said to have lived here many years ago by the name of Tidra Coughlin.
Okay.
It sounded like you said Macaulay.
No, not Macaulay Coughlin. That's a house 2 doors down. We will probably visit there during Christmas time. But for right now, we will stay with the Coughlin Estate. I'm going to hurry up and write this idea down real quick.
Well, welcome to the Macaulay Coughlin.
Siri, help me remember a band of elephants versus the sticky bandits. Go report to Tiny, and he will outfit you with what you could possibly need and want in this adventure. So, good luck, heroes.
Come on, gang, let's go.
Yeah, you guys make your way out of the area and sort of walk down the long hallway. You're hearing the faint sounds of arcane magics and explosions happening from down the hall in the hangar where you normally meet with Tiny. As you open the door, all of you give me a perception check as you see Tiny, but some other things in this room as well.
Are we smelling anything?
Yes, actually. So I will grant you this. I will either let you make this check with your nose or your eyes. You
The
tell
Well,
me.
nose.
either way, it's that one. So
Nat one, okay.
Who are you gonna believe, me or your own eyes?
Me. Definitely me.
Well, the nose knows on this one, so I'm gonna go and roll with the nose, and that'd be a 21.
21, okay. What
I'll
a
be going visual with a 23 for me.
23. All right.
I got a simple 20.
A simple 20. So I will say this. I will say this. As Simon and Trini start looking around the space a little bit and start sort of scoping things out, you notice that there are a lot more gadgets and items in the space than there normally are. Normally, Tiny has things somewhat organized, but now it looks as if this is a more of a think tank atmosphere. And Barnum, you smell sulfur in the air. It's a really weird thing. You kind of go in and you're kind of relying on your nose right now, but you smell the faint smell of sulfur. And as you smell sulfur, there is a little like pop behind you, and you see a little girl sort of staring at you. And she's like, "Hi." And
Hi,
she sort of like flies over to you. And she goes, "What's your name?"
I'm Barnum. You don't. How are you?
"I'm good. I'm working with him now." And Tiny will sort of like wave, and he looks a little bit more tired than normal. And he goes, he toddles over to all of you and says, "Hi, everyone. Welcome. I know you've got a mission. Welcome our newest recruit. I would like to say that she adopted me, but I feel like we adopted each other. This is Etheria. Etheria, do you want to say hi?" And Etheria just sort of waves and hovers in the air a little bit.
Who
And
saw you with the circus tent?
yeah, probably. I'm really
You
smart.
beat up those dolls.
I really
Mm.
did. And apparently, I beat them up so good that you guys needed help, and they asked me to help. And Tiny nods his head and goes, "Yeah, that's true. So Etheria actually had a hand in creating all of the magical items that you are going to be using on your adventure this evening." And
Hopefully they're better than they smell. So
uh, she will sort of poof again, and you smell that faint smell of brimstone, and she will go over to a small table and start like moving things off the table. And she will hold up 6 pairs of goggles, each one covered in glitter, and each one with a little like mermaid tail that seems to come off like the far right end of the goggles. She's like, "These are special goggles that Tiny made that they help you see ghosts, but I fixed them."
These
ghosts.
are awesome. Did you fix these all by yourself? These are just gorgeous. And I
Yeah.
just walk over and reach out my hand for one. And
Yeah, she like rummages through the pairs and like looks. She's like, "You get a special one," and she hands you a pair of the goggles. um, Tiny goes, "Yes, if you are wearing these, you will have advantage when spotting anything of a supernatural tint. It'll leave a small trail behind.
can I
However,
just wear these at any time?
you can. There may be some long-term side effects. We haven't had a chance to test them in the field."
I'll
Ah,
test them for you then.
we won't be out long. It's all right.
Okay.
What were some of the side effects?
Oh, it's okay, Simon. Don't worry about it. I'm sure we'll be fine.
Wolf, you need to let me know if you ever take them off.
Okay.
Okay.
Actually gonna put mine on.
You're gonna put yours on as well? Oh, they look so good.
We're gonna we're gonna rock him out and take mine too. Like, you know what? I can get used to this.
Etheria will reach under the table and pull out two what looks like to be wands, but they're oddly shaped. It almost looks like a wand with a larger sort of like circular piece of wood and a odd metal piece at the bottom. And she's like, "This is a gun, but it's like a squirt gun. You take your finger and you pull this little trigger, and it squirts water out the other end."
Let's talk about gun safety. Keep your finger off the trigger until you plan to pull it.
Yeah.
Or I'm just gonna look at his hand and be like,
Tiny, sort of nodding and will enlarge the guns so that they fit your elephant, sort of
Elephantine fingers.
elephantine fingers.
Is it just water in there, or is there something special?
Tiny, Tiny will like go to answer and then look over at Etheria, and Etheria will just be looking down at the ground.
Dead.
So don't shoot each other.
What are these? What's inside them?
And Etheria will look up at Tiny, and Tiny will take the squirt gun and like put it to his mouth like he's gonna spray some in, and Etheria just shakes her head and puts the squirt gun down.
Okay, maybe we should just start with, is the same substance in both devices?
Yes.
Okay. But you're not going to tell us what this liquid substance does?
You're pretty.
So you are just the most precious thing. I'd love to know what's inside there, though.
It's bad for ghosts.
Okay, I guess we'll just have to go with that.
Ironically, it grows hair.
can I smell anything coming from this gun?
Bad for humans as well, or Loxodons as well.
She's like, I don't think so. Give me an investigation check, buddy.
That's another advantage.
Does it
ooh,
come
it's a
with
nat
shoulder
20.
holsters?
Tiny can throw together a little shoulder holster for you. Are you taking one of the guns? There's only
No.
two.
No.
Okay, so with a nat 20, I'll give you this. You smell like mineral water. Okay, that's the basis for it. You smell salt in here, and there's definitely an iron taste, or like an iron sort of smell that hits in you, almost like when you get a nosebleed or something. You get that like a little bit of like blood or something in there, and there's something else in here, and you can't tell what it is. It smells alcoholic, like
Yeah, alcohol.
Like spirits?
not spirits. I'm trying to like
Like isopropyl?
like isopropyl, like flammable.
He's just gonna put it in his coat pocket at this point. He's interested.
Okay, he's got one. Who takes the other one?
I'll take one.
Okay, you take the other one. There you go. And last but not least, she looks for the other thing, and she kind of has a hard time, and she sort of like flies around the room, and then she goes, "Oh yeah," and she reaches into her pocket and puts it out, and it's a tube with stickers covering it, and she's like, "This is a pixie stick."
Does it have a pixie in it?
Yes.
Can't get much more direct than that.
But it's a big pixie. I made friends with him.
Do.
He's gonna help you, but he's only gonna stick around for like a little bit. He can't stick around for a long time. So only in case of emergency, you can have the pixie stick, and after you eat your dinner.
After you eat your dinner.
After dinner?
Let's see. Okay.
That's just
You're
what that's just what Bob said. But you guys can have the pixie stick whenever you want to.
Who's Bob?
Oh.
So what you do is you take the pixie stick and then you break it in half, and my friend will come out and help you.
Okay.
Wait a second. If the pixie's inside and I break it in half, what happens to the pixie?
Have fun. And Etheria will like fly over and start working on something else over in the corner.
Wasn't she just the cutest thing, Simon?
She,
She was just adorable.
Tiny looks
Yeah.
flummoxed, but in love and very happy. And he's like, "Yeah, she's a genius and a handful. So yeah, good luck in the haunted house, gang. I wish I could join you, but there's work to be done here. So represent Tusk as best as you can."
I ain't fighting no ghost.
So, do I get to carry the pixie wand?
It's whoever wants to carry it.
Not it.
And it looks like it's yours. Me and Lexi have alcohol guns.
I walk over and slip my arm under Simon's arm. This is going to be so exciting.
Talked about space.
The 6 of the Loxodons make their way to the transportation circle. There is a faint pop of arcane magic, and you are all transported to the front porch of Coughlin Manor. Uh, it is a dark and stormy evening.
Kick in the door.
You kick in the
No,
door?
no, Simon,
Love
wait,
it.
no, Simon, wait,
Yep.
wait.
No, give me an athletics check as you guys all take a second to catch your breath, and Simon just goes,
18.
18.
Oh, wait. No, that's a 21 because I get a +6. There it is.
Yep. Okay. So you guys are all sort of paying attention to the sounds around you, sort of looking about, and then all of a sudden, bam! Simon kicks down the door. As he does, the door, rotted and old with time, flies off of the hinges and like clatters into the room.
Really?
I'll bust in, draw my sword, and flex out my shield. Prepare to die.
don't you think that was a little bit excessive?
When was the last time you were in a haunted
Oh.
house?
Be
I'm
quiet,
perfect
Lexi.
amount.
He's doing fine,
Or-
Lexi. He's just doing just fine.
All right,
See
but
what
then
he needs to
everybody's
do.
going to know we're here, and maybe we should just fix it, and then we can go on about our business. I'm going to start hastily trying to mend the door.
We're not ninjas.
So,
Excuse me, Simon. Speak for yourself.
all right. So here's what happens. Lexi, you go over to pick up the door and put it back on the hinge.
Yeah, it's only 1 foot at a time, so I'm just putting pieces together and seeing how much I can get done.
You actually don't have to. As you go over to where the door has fallen on the ground, you're watching as the door gets absorbed into the floor, and you turn back and look, and the door creaks closed.
Kick out the door.
Well, that was unexpected.
How you doing?
You're kicking out the door this time? Like you're kicking it
Kick
off
out the door.
into the street? Okay, give me an athletics check at disadvantage.
I'm gonna move out of the way.
11.
He's kicking it out into the street.
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm still outside, so I'm just gonna.
Sure. He kicks it off. He goes to kick it, and he kicks it with the same force that he did. And the door swings out and then swings back. Even though it was kicked at the same sort of level of ferocity, there's something about it now that it swung out and then kind of swung back in.
Did it immediately shut, or did I kind of do like the swinging thing where it stops, or does it come
this,
out and bam?
This time it boom, boom.
Okay.
Well, I certainly hope this house isn't sentient, but I'm starting to worry.
Is it?
Who all is inside the house?
I'm gonna go inside. Try to jiggle the handle now.
One,
by now.
two.
Go in.
Tantor, are you staying out or are you going in? Okay. You all make your way inside the house. As the door closes, you see Simon, sword drawn, shield out, a figure of light and righteousness in a darkened world. And a voice creeps into all of your heads. Get out.
You can't make me do anything, ghosts.
See, now I'm gonna want to stay here more now.
Well, it
I
looks
was
like we can't do
thinking we
anything
should
here. Time to
leave.
go.
Oh no, Mr. Shining Beacon of Righteousness. I'm gonna cast light and put it on his chest.
Not necessary. My sword lights itself.
Well, guess what?
But I bring it. I enjoy it all the more.
I'm gonna cast light on his chest plate. Go ahead, be our headlight, Mister. I'm gonna stamp indoors.
So I go and try the door. Does it open?
It does.
And does it look normal outside still?
It does. Looks like a dark and stormy night.
You know, guys, when the house says get out,
Stay in longer.
Are you saying we should leave right now?
Are we sitting in like a foyer, like
Task
or
force
standing in a
for
foyer?
Tusk.
All right, you guys take a second to catch your bearings, or Barnum, you do, and as you look around, you are in a foyer with a chandelier that's sort of up above you. Nothing is lit. It's a little dark inside of this house right now, but there is a chandelier that seems to be covered in spider webs. There's a few doors leading out of this space.
How far is the chandelier from me?
I would say it's about 20 feet in the air.
Okay, it's too high for me. Never mind.
15. 5.
Yeah. With the light that Mr. Simon is casting off of, what color is the chandelier?
You cast a light onto Simon. You cast it onto his breastplate or his shield.
I cast it onto his breastplate.
Simon is standing there, and as he walks about the space, you see his light illuminate things. And do you ask him to sort of lay on his back, or how do you shine this light?
I can take care of this light issue, like in a little more of a widespread arc, if you'd like.
Please, because I have a sinking feeling right now.
Okay, then I cast daylight.
Oh, you do? All right.
I do.
Where are you casting daylight?
It lasts an hour, and it has a 60-foot radius sphere. It comes from a little ball in my hand.
All right.
Already, huh?
So.
But I can block it out and then open it back up.
Correct.
Because I can put a little cup over it to block it out.
It's a
and then open it back.
concentration spell, correct? So you can't cast any other concentration spells while this is on.
It is not, actually.
My goggles on.
You put your goggles on. Okay.
Well, I've had my goggles on.
He's had his on.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking up the daylight spell really quick.
She has had hers on.
She has had hers on.
I've had mine on too. I think Simon's the only one that doesn't have goggles on right now.
Oh.
But I put it on your.
So
I don't know if I'm
I'm gonna look around and then I'm gonna cover it up, because if we're gonna get to the bottom of this mystery, we probably need to get to the bottom of it in the dark. But I want to be sure I still have it accessible.
I want to look up.
Okay. This ball of daylight erupts into Lexi's hand. And as it does, this light seems to penetrate through the darkness, both physical and emotional. Spots where the light concentrates on are suddenly no longer old and decrepit pieces of furniture, but look as if they were brand new. The wooden floor cracked and old and mildewed with time. As the light shines over it, rights itself, and it looks freshly polished. But as soon as the light leaves it, the floor cracks again. It almost like she's shining past the illusion into what the house wants to be. Does that make sense?
Yes.
As she shines at the chandelier, you see that there is no chandelier. while the light is shining on it.
There is no chandelier, period. Okay.
There is no chandelier while the light is shining on it. And when she removes her hand and brings it sort of out of the radius, before you is a darkened, black, cracked, somewhat rusted chandelier hanging in the space.
Is there anything close by that, like within arm's reach, that is there when the light is not there? That?
All of this being shared, give me investigation checks. People that are looking for objects or items that are there when the light is on it and when it's not.
I'm once again gonna use the nose. Does it
I'm
smell
too busy
musty in
going,
here?
woo!
Or does it smell polished?
Here's the deal with the nose. The nose isn't going to be able to distinguish. You don't smell polish when the light is shining on something. Like, and you
Okay.
specifically check for, okay, so the light shines on this, do I smell new wood or fresh?
No, my guess, like, when the light was off, was the house did it have that decrepit smell to it?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. That's fine.
And when the light is on, it still has the decrepit smell to it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. My investigation was 11.
Okay. 11,
13.
13,
16.
16. 4? Yeah. Okay, Trini. You guys are not really good at the investigation. Everyone's sort of looking around the area. They're scoping out for things, and you spend some time looking at umbrella stands and hat racks in this small area that seems to come to life. Trini, it's you who notices a door that only appears to be there when the light is shining on it. It's the opposite of the chandelier. When there is a light shining on the back wall, specifically daylight, there's a door that appears. But when the light leaves it, it is no longer there. It is just a bookcase in the place of where the door was.
Lexi, dear, could you bring the light over here again by this wall,
sure.
please?
And I get close to the door and lift the thing.
Okay, Lexi, you come over, and before you is a large bookcase with 2 candle holders on either side of the bookcase.
All right, and that's with it dark, but when I light it up, I don't see the bookcase anymore. It's just a door.
You see a door.
Do I see the candle holders?
You don't see the candle holders.
Okay.
Inside the 2 candle holders are no candles, but if you look on the ground, you will see 2 candles sort of laying on the ground.
I'll pick them up and set them in the holders.
The door behind the bookcase. Look at that.
As he puts the candle holders in, Simon walks forward and puts a candle in, and the bookcase revolves, and Simon is not there.
Put the candle.
What's on? We can't pick up the door this time?
All
Can
right,
we see the?
should I do the daylight? Should we just peek through this door and see if he's there with the daylight on?
Yes, let's try that.
All right.
I wish he had. Oh, Simon.
Yeah.
Sometimes that guy.
I know. It's one of the things you love about him.
Yeah.
Her. Yeah, him. Yeah. Okay. I'm so confused. Okay. Daylight. And do you want to open the door? You
Yeah.
don't need to.
Let me check the door. I'm gonna go and check for traps.
Okay, give me a check for traps. Give me an investigation.
Oh, nat 20.
The door does not appear to be trapped, but you definitely get an odd sense from this as there's a push on your hand. It's almost like you got something metal in your hand and there's a magnet. It's almost like the house is fighting back against whatever is making this door manifest where it's supposed to be.
Okay, I'm gonna try to power my way through that and see if I can open the door.
Sure, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, because I'm so wise.
Simon went through the door when there was no light on it, right?
Correct.
So he just went boop to the bookcase.
Yep. The bookcase turned around
But
and
it rotated.
Yep.
Okay.
That's a 7 wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, you're trying to push through. You're trying to push through this sort of like fight, and the house creaks and groans like these old houses tend to do when it's storming outside. And for some reason, like your hand is shaking, almost like you're holding onto something electric, and it's too much. You got to let go.
Anyone else want to try?
I'm gonna pull out my sword,
Okay.
say the magic word peanuts, light it on fire, and try to burn the door down.
Huh. Okay. Give me an attack roll.
It's like a sword attack.
Yeah, just give me a sword attack roll.
What did you say?
16.
16? Yeah, it's a door. It's not going to have a huge AC. You ignite your sword, Peanuts, and roll damage for me as you start hacking away at this door.
And I kind of jump out of the way.
Yeah.
gracefully jump out of the way.
Gracefully, John.
18 damage.
What do I see on the other side of this bookcase?
You are on the other side. As you are looking out past, I imagine your turn like completely around and you're looking down. You see a darkened hallway. Alongside the hallway are, while all this is happening, Simon, you see dishes.
Well, I still have the light on my chest.
You do,
right?
But it's not like illuminating things like the daylight did.
Okay.
That was something I expected you guys to figure out like way later. There are dishes but I want to respect it because it was a good move. You find dishes, bowls, plates, cutlery lining this hallway. There's no doors or windows or anything. And in the hallway are these plates that are like stacked up like little mini towers from floor to ceiling. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like I'm littering the floor are like china plates and things like that. And amidst the hallway are these towers that if you were to walk down this hallway, you'd have to walk around them and sort of hug the walls if you didn't want to knock them over.
So we're in a room, or he's in a room with no windows and nor doors.
So you're also saying that there's a bunch of china all around me.
Like an elephant in a china shop?
Yes, just like
this is a little bullish. This is a little bullish.
There's a moment where you're like, oh boy.
This is gonna be the best day of my life. I'm going to charge down this hallway.
Perfect. Let's get to that in just a second. I was hoping you would say that. We go back to outside the hallway. You break a hole in this door. You very easily break a hole in this door, and the flames start licking like up the door, and this old wood of this house catches fairly quickly as you have managed to break down this door while she shines the light on it, and the door sort of falls away, but these flames are now creeping up the wall towards where...
Is there any source of water or anything?
Hey, you got your water guns.
Yeah,
oh wait, nope, that's flammable.
no,
Never mind.
That's
Don't do
a bad
that.
idea. Goodness.
I'm going to see if there's like a tapestry or something I can use to maybe start
Smolder?
putting out these flames
Or
to
smother.
smother them.
Perception check, buddy, as you start... Oh, you're like, oh my god, these cans! Somebody's angry at these cans!
I don't know if I could have rolled any worse except for a 1. That's going to be a 9 with my bonuses.
These people must have hated tapestries because there is not a tapestry in sight. You see some old furniture. You see, you think you see like a little bit of tiled floor off in a certain direction. There might be where a kitchen once was. You're welcome to go running off.
What is Tanzor wearing right now?
Because I've got a bedroll in my inventory, I don't know if that's just from like that.
Okay, I rip his cloak off or whatever he has, and I start beating on the flames with it. And if that's not working, I'm picking up Tanzor and rolling him over the flames to see if I can get these out
Oh.
before the house burns
Wait,
around.
hold on. I've got a water skin in my inventory.
I've got holy water.
I'm just gonna take that and I'll have water gun on my trunk and all that, or try to.
Simon, you are down on the ground. You are posed. You are ready to go, and you hear like, and
How?
yes,
Sorry.
no, you go ahead.
Well, DM call, because Druidcraft will snuff out a small campfire.
This is not a small campfire. However, I will say between the impromptu water hose, you putting out small patches of the fire, and him beating the fire with his party member, she beating the fire with the party member, this is the scene that you look back on. Like you're gone like 12 seconds and you turn back and look, and Trini has Tanzor and she's beating the fire with it. Like he's spraying everything with water, and you see Lexi just going, "It's a campfire, it's a campfire, it's a campfire."
I'm interrupting something. I'm sorry.
But the fire gets put out.
Could we just try opening the door one more time before we light anything else on fire?
There is no
Yeah, hold on.
door.
There is no door.
There is no door. There is
Door
no
left.
spoon. There is
Burn.
no door.
There is no.
So I'm gonna walk through the doorway
Okay.
and look for Simon.
Okay.
I'm actually patting out the little smolder char marks on Tanzor.
We have to play this right. As she walks through the door, the sunlight is no longer shining on the door, because she said she cast it on her hands. And you guys see a bookcase beat to heck and back and slightly singed, but another opening in that space.
Daylight is a ball. It's a little ball that's in front of me. That's what this is.
I understand that, but you said I'm going to be the first one to walk through this space.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
It definitely
Sorry.
was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you watch Simon put the candle in the bookcase?
You did, but there's a hole. It's like you guys chopped through this bookcase. There's all shattered books and stuff all over the floor and stuff like that.
So can we walk through this hole? Is it large enough?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
oh yeah. Then okay.
Tanzor, keep your peanuts in the sheath.
Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, and it was a wonderful evening.
Thank you so much. This is great.
Get out and start burning the house down.
Can somebody make a note of where that took place in the stream?
Already done.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Already done.
Sorry.
For the next commercial.
I'm telling your wife.
So, you guys see the exact same thing. I would say you guys see seconds before Simon takes off at a dead sprint down
I'm
this
so
hallway.
proud of him.
Right?
It's
Like,
everything the Loxodon train should be.
Simon, you're
go
just
for it.
taking off?
Oh yeah, this is my fun day.
Cool.
It's my Sunday. I don't have to go to.
Give me
Well, at least we got through the door.
an athletics check, because you're not trying to dodge anything. You're just
No. Yeah, just power run or
Cool.
power doze.
Yeah.
Power line.
So that will be a 21 total.
Okay.
Oh no, wait. Sorry, 20. It's athletics, right?
Well, you die. You die instantly.
Dang it!
We needed 20.
You needed that one extra
You needed
point.
that one.
It's the only thing that saved me. 1 point.
You take off at a dead sprint, and you are like on your mark, get set, boom, and you just start taking off. You get about halfway down this hallway, I'd say, with the 21, where you're just sort of muscling through, and you feel tired because you feel like you're taking on extra weight. And as you look down, you notice that the plates and the cups and the little bits of food and stuff, like, it's stuck to you. Like, every single plate or cup or fork or piece of color, like everything that you ran through that touched you is now stuck to you, adding weight to it, and you start, oh no, uh-oh, uh-oh, mama, no, and you just poof, face plant onto the ground as you are just sort of wrapped up in, you're not hurt, but you're immobilized.
Okay, can I use
Shards?
my divine sense to tell what's going on here?
Sure, tell me more about divine sense. What does that do?
Okay, so just a sense of detect good or evil, and I can sense anything affected by Hallow, or know the location of any fiends, undead within 6.
Okay, you detect the presence of an undead at the end of the hallway.
All right.
This is the opposite of hallowed ground.
Okay.
Okay.
But you guys watch as Simon goes, yeah, oh no, and he's just sort of
I hurt my elbow.
Simon, Simon, and I actually start. I toss Tanzor to the side, not worried about any more smolder marks, and I rush up to Simon
Don't
to
touch
be
him.
by his side.
yep, nope. Give me an athletics check.
Oh.
Oh, 16.
He cleared out a good portion, but as Trina's running, like she's getting covered by these little plates and little bits of food, and as Simon, no, she reaches forward, and sure enough,
Simon, no.
it is a sandwich. It is a Loxodon as Trina is on top of him, and Simon's on the ground, and
Well, this could be worse, Simon.
You planned this.
Go get a room.
Does the goggles show anything?
where are you looking?
I'm looking at the Loxa sandwich we had, the Loxa sub, if you will, on in the kitchen going on. If there's anything different?
It's not really a kitchen. It's a hallway with a whole bunch of
Oh,
food.
okay.
Give
Hallway.
me a perception check. Is anybody else? Tanzor, you
Dashing
still got
down
your
the hall.
glasses.
That as well.
All right. T, are you putting on your goggles?
Yeah, well, because I went through the door and I saw Simon. So I'm in the same location. I see him up ahead of me, right?
You are. You saw Simon run forward. You saw Trini go, Simon, no, and run forward, and all of these
Okay.
plates and cups sticking to her.
In this space, what I'm immediately doing, because I walked through with the light on, I want to see this space with the light off and the light on. I want to see what the difference is in this space, if there are differences.
There is no difference in this space in terms of added things or things that are there that weren't previously there. But the space does get darker. Do Loxodons have night vision?
Don't.
Okay. The light on his chest plate is completely covered. So when you check the space with the light on and off, it gets real dark.
Okay.
With the real dark, does the glass? Because I got a 15 when the light was on. Does the goggles don't show anything in the dark? Do they?
They do not show anything in the dark.
That's
a 15. And Tanzor, what did you get?
19.
A 19. Tanzor, you catch movement. When the light is up before Lexi puts it out, you see what looks to be a humanoid figure at the end of this hallway. And it's a faint, like, shimmer trail that seems to be, like, moving back and forth like this. Almost like the after image in a photograph. It's this.
Something back there. It's almost like an after image, and it's going.
You're fired. You're immediately fired. From a cannon into the sun. Yeah. he explains all this to you.
So this is visible to them when the sunlight is on, daylight is on,
Yes, because that's the only light source available at the moment.
and without it, it's just too dark to see anything.
Can I push myself up now?
Yeah, can we move it all? That's next question.
Yeah, if you move together, you can both
I
make
like
an
this already.
athletics check. But if you're moving
Let's-
separately, it's at disadvantage.
Okay, we need to time this together, Simon. Do you think let's just work
Just
together?
hold on to my back. I'll push us up.
Okay.
Is this something I can get
I hold on
inspiration
to his back. I just reach as much of my arms around him as I can.
Oh, I can't say no to this. So you see the two of them locked in a romantic embrace, Barnum. If you would like
Wait,
to,
hold.
if you would like to grant any
Hold
sort of
on.
inspiration here, you are more than welcome to.
Jump onto your back, Simon. Just do it.
I step back to Lexi. I'm like, we've seen
Nope. Nope.
seen elephant flies. We've
Nope.
seen circuses exploded. But have you ever seen Simon hold Lexi like that? That is amazing.
Nope.
I'm Lex.
Oh, excuse me. Simon held Trini like that.
I've
Trini
never
held
seen
Lexi.
him hold Lexi like that. Never. And I probably never will.
We went through the tunnel of love together.
Take-
They need that.
Take a jealousy inspiration dice on that one, gang. I will just like Publix. I'm going BOGO. So you only burn through one bardic inspiration, but you both each get one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give me your athletics at not disadvantage, at just regular straight up.
16.
Yeah, you push up, and it's hard, man. You're not going to be doing a lot of movement, but you are staring at the end of this hallway, and you are closer to it than anyone else. So this sort of ghostly figure is very apparent to you. That's sort of shimmering in and out of existence. You are behind him, treating like arms wrapped around him.
And I'm not letting go.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
But you see this figure at the end of the hallway.
Is it a spooky looking figure, or is it
You don't
other
see
than being shimmering?
Your face is pressed up against his back, and he smells.
That's what I was thinking.
He smells
Amazing.
of cinnamon and peanuts. It is just you're not moving. But Simon, you see this at the end of the hallway.
All right, so my
I
sword
sneak
is
my
already.
trunk up around and kind of twitch his ear with it.
Knock it off. Knock it off.
What are you doing?
His trunk and knocks her on the head.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll use my trunk to bat her trunk away.
And I just twine it together, just
Ah,
like it was natural.
Quit it. You're embarrassing us in front of this thing.
You.
I draw my sword and
Is he able to draw a sword?
He's able to draw the sword. He's just not able to move.
right. And is the sunlight on? Is the daylight on?
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's on.
But in the shadow that I'm creating, because obviously it's behind me, right? The day.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
so in the
filtering out, and you see. Give me a perception check.
Oh. 7.
You see so much about your life and where you're headed.
My
and,
goals and aspirations.
yeah.
All right. Well, I will try to trudge forward with my sword drawn.
This will,
Let's walk together. And I'm going to try to move my legs forward with his legs as he goes.
This is how I wanted to live my life. Thank you.
give me a performance. No, I don't even know what this is. I don't even know what this is.
I don't know what it is either.
What would a 3-legged race be?
Athletics or acrobatics?
Acrobatics?
Acrobatics for him, athletics for you. Acrobatics
Okay.
for Trini, athletics for Simon.
All right, so 21 for me.
That would be a 27.
You are
I get +9.
What does Lexi do?
You are the wind beneath my legs.
I hate to get in the middle of this, but if y'all would like my help, I might be able to help out the situation here.
We're fine,
Right.
Lexi. We're fine.
Yeah, let him
Do it!
Okay.
Do it
This is
now!
karma. This is karma for him busting in the door. Let him.
You
let
want
him.
me to do it now, Simon? I don't know if this is appropriate.
Okay, so I cast dispel magic on this whole situation here.
Oh, man.
What are the components for Dispel Magic?
It's verbal and somatic.
Got it.
It's I can choose a magical effect within range. Any spell of 3rd level or lower on the target ends. For any spell of 4th level or higher, there's going to be an ability check.
There is a moment where this hallway turns into a bit of a rave as she starts opening and closing her hands and moving it about the space, and the light starts responding in kind with as she casts the spell.
Here for it.
The cups and plates and all of it fall to the wayside. You are suddenly unencumbered except for the girl on your back.
Right.
And this figure at the end of the hallway stands a little straighter and sort of goes and will turn and face the wall and just go running straight through the wall. Everyone who's wearing glasses sees the trail it leaves behind.
I cross. Gone demon.
I walk up to them, tapping the glasses. You're gonna need to put yours on. But right now, team, it's time to set a trap.
You're going full Scooby-Doo.
Okay.
And I point
Let's
out,
split up.
who wants to
Bad
be
idea.
bait? Wait a minute. So the trail just leads into a wall, right?
He ran into a wall with enough time, and now that the trap set in this hallway, the magical essence has been dispersed. You do see a doorway at the end of this spot, at the end of this hallway.
I look at our train, our locomotive elephant, like there's another door to bash.
Kick in the door.
Well, why don't we try opening it first? I mean, I'm sure
I
we
am
could
opening it.
or burn
Yeah.
it or something, but why don't we just try opening it first?
What could possibly go wrong?
These feet are made for kicking.
Okay, give me an athletics check.
Oh, this one's 12.
12?
12.
You're like, I got this. Oh, it's
Fire.
Oh, are you okay, Simon? Are you okay?
There's a stud in that
Here,
one.
let me. I'm gonna.
I
I'm
need
gonna
to put
actually
on my
let go of
glasses.
his back. I'm gonna go around him and see if I can open the door. Just
to
you,
the door,
you just
pulling
wait
out
right
my
there,
sword.
Simon.
Now I see the ghosts, right?
You see all ghosts. Are you going up to the store, Trini?
Yes,
All right.
I've reluctantly released our paladin, and I'm heading towards the door.
It is locked.
Okay,
I
I'm
walked
going
up
to
to it.
check
Alright.
for traps and
Uh,
examine that.
Give me an investigation check.
Can I try to pick the lock?
Not yet, because
My foot.
you've already
Dang,
tried
I
that.
am rolling today.
You had a 10. You had
Oh,
a
but I
10
get a negative
investigation.
one on investigation. 16 on investigation.
All right. You're searching around and you decide that there are no traps on this, and you pull your hand back, and as you do, you bring your head back around and you look at the doorknob again, and you're like, there's no traps, but this feels weird. And you put your hand back on the doorknob again, and your delicate Loxodon fingers sort of ting ting ting, like touch the doorknob, and it's like a it's like a chime, and you realize that like there's this doorknob is hollow, and that if somebody were to grab it and grab it lightly, it would cave in on itself. It's almost like a fragile glass or something along those lines. So you take a little bit of time to gently remove this doorknob off of the spot and place it off to the side. And sure enough, there's a simple lever that you can flip up, and the door swings open.
Okay. I do all of that. And swing the
My
door
sword.
open.
This room is sparse. It is a simple room with a bed and a small table, and it looks to be like a small bookshelf. It looks very dusty and old. Um, However, as Lexi comes forward and sort of uncups her hands a little bit more to shine daylight into this room, the room transforms into
A
this,
Decepticon.
the same sort of room, but brimming with life. There are wildflowers everywhere, in vases and different planters. There is white, beautiful linens on the bed. There's still no windows in this room. It is still sort of covered, like this is there's no other form of exit out of this room. But you see a room that looks like everything was brought to this room to give it the appearance of life itself. And these beautiful flowers, the bookshelf is teeming with books. There's fresh food on a plate next to the bed. There's all of these things sort of in this room where she shines daylight on it.
Does it look more like a child's room or an adult's room?
Give me an insight check.
Okay. Let's see. 21.
You have a little bit of women's intuition here, and you start looking and you're like, I don't know if this is a child. No, this is definitely not a child's room. With the daylight shining, you look at the book titles, and all of them are sort of romance novels and things of that sort. Some of the clothes that you find scattered about the room are for an older woman, not for a child. And this room has a feminine touch to it, but not that of a child, but of someone living here for a while.
I convey this information to everybody else.
Can you say that one more time?
She tells
Oh.
everybody that.
Okay. Interesting. I'm gonna
And
walk
there's
over
no
to the
other
bookshelf.
exits from this room at all, correct?
No, if you want to look around the room, there is like a little bedside table. There's a bed. You can give me investigation checks.
While
Ooh,
it's lit, are these things tangible?
What are you picking up?
Well, any of the living things you said, like it's got the vases have flowers, and are any of these now visible things tangible
Give me
in the light?
Give me a d20.
That's a 6. If it's just
No.
a straight.
And you start going over to random items in the room in the light, and you find no purchase in your hand.
in the darkness, in the darkened room, are there dead flowers?
Give me an investigation check, and that'll lower the DC if that's what you're looking for.
17, 6, 23.
There are none scattered about the space, but as you start looking around and looking under things, under the bed is one well-kept flower. One flower that seems to have withstood the test of time, and as the light shines on it, it appears this bright orange color, and as you pull the light away, the flower remains.
Okay, what my goal is, I'm trying to use Druidcraft to get a flower to bloom in the that's
dark.
what I was looking for. So like I was looking for a dead flower or a seed or something to kind of go with to see what happens if I make one of the dead flowers bloom, but while the room is darkened point.
So here's what happens. There's a flower. When you shine the light on it, It's beautiful and orange and gorgeous. As you pull the light away and cover it, the flower stays that way for a little bit and then immediately starts dying. Like immediately start. It's still in your hand, but it starts withering and wilting away. Are you going to use Druidcraft to keep it alive?
To keep it alive, yeah, that's what I want. Is I want a flower, a bloomed, bright, beautiful flower, but in the dark room, and see what happens.
Okay. The flower blooms, and it takes a good deal of concentration and Druidcraft as the flower blooms, and it maintains its life as long as you are concentrating your magic onto it. Constantly casting Druidcraft. Nothing happens in the space, but this flower keeps staying alive.
Seeing
Staying
her
alive.
do that,
Staying
he's
alive.
gonna be kind of conscious.
Staying alive?
But seeing her like actually strain to keep things alive, if a DM will allow me to prep one of the mantles, just kind of throw it over his shoulder but not quite clip it on yet.
Sure.
Cool. I'm gonna prepare my mantle of majesty. He's just gonna throw it on. He's just still looking around, but not quite clip it to activate. Just kind of hold it there.
Sure. It's ready to go.
Okay. He's gonna walk over to the bookshelf. Is there anything that stands out to the bookshelf? Maybe because it's a lot of romance novels we put together. That's probably of female essence. Does the goggle show anything that of this ghost or apparition?
What was your investigation check?
I didn't roll one. Investigation. Man, I am just not doing well on those tonight. 12.
Nothing that catches your eye on the bookcase. You sort of like look around at the different books, and they all look sort of generic, and you don't really. Nothing sort of jumps out at you.
Bookmarks?
Bookmarks?
Back in the pages.
Give me an investigation check, Tanzor, if you haven't already.
Good call. Good call.
Were there any doors that were exposed by the light?
This is a one-way in situation. You start putting together that the food that was left in this hallway might have been the culmination of food that was brought to this room over the years, or representing that.
That was
a lot of food.
11? Okay. No, not a lot of bookmarks. You do see one book that looks to be a little bit more worn. But nothing in terms of bookmarks. It looks to be a book that you've never read before called Sleeping Beauty.
Romance novel. Of course, I've maybe have read it in my life. Can I history check it?
Yeah.
Ooh, history. There's not 17.
Yeah. You know the story of a girl that was kept in a room asleep for many, many years as the kingdom itself also fell asleep until a handsome prince came and rescued her. You also know that the fairies that attended to her were associated with Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather.
I'm going to convey this to Simon. I believe Simon has the pixie stick. Who has the pixie stick? Is it Trini? Trini has the pixie stick. So, and the light is still out, so we still see this all growth and stuff along those lines.
Wherever she shone in the light, yeah.
Cool.
Light would have gone out because Druidcraft is another concentration spell, right?
No,
It was a concentration for the
Sunlight.
daylight.
Daylight is not a concentration spell.
Daylight's not. And Druidcraft is also not a concentration.
She's just bringing the flower back to life over and over again.
It might help to bring the pixie to help us out. I don't call it a hunch.
Well, maybe if we kind of investigate fully what's going on in the house, because I believe the pixie's only going to last for a short amount of time.
That's
It's
true.
a one-shot time, and we haven't had dinner yet.
That's true.
Perhaps in the hallway if you're hungry.
So maybe we do a thorough check of the house and then use the pixie when we see fit to best use the pixie.
He's gonna walk to the bed and
Go
take a look at
Pixie.
the bed.
What are you doing with the bed?
I'm gonna look under the bed.
All right. You
Yeah,
look
check the bed for monsters.
Sure. You look under the bed. As you look under the bed, you pull the sheet back and you see the image that you had seen before of this sort of flickering demonic humanoid presence that that seems to his head pokes out of the wall as if he's looking under, and then as you lift up the sheet to sort of look under the bed, his head goes back through the wall, as almost as he was watching what was transpiring.
Anybody else saw that? That was freaky. He's gonna collect himself and do it again to see if it repeats.
No.
No. So I'm gonna convey what just happened to the team.
So if you pull back the sheet, can I just rip the sheet off the bed now? As you said,
go ahead.
when you move the sheet, it kind of exposed, right?
Yeah, but I did it again. And it
Are
didn't
you
come back.
ripping the sheet on the bed?
Yeah, ripping it off the bed.
Awesome. You take the sheet and you sort of rip it off, and it's the first time any of you have done anything to the room. You've looked at the bookcase, you've looked at items, you haven't really messed up the room at all. When Simon walks over to the sheet and rips the sheet off, the house starts shaking, like, and you all feel it. You feel the floor beneath you start to grumble, and the walls itself start to groan, and there is a click as the door locks, and the cement walls around you start to
Oh no.
slowly start to close in. For this, I'm going to need you all to roll initiative, please, because order is going to play a huge part into this.
Ooh. Okay.
20 to 25.
25.
20.
Okay, Barnum, Simon. 20 to 15.
18.
Okay, what did you get? Somebody sometime? One more time? Yeah, I'm just having a hard time.
19. He
said
got 19.
And what did you get, buddy?
18.
18. Okay.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time hearing him too. So
Yeah. Tanzor and then Trini. 15 to 10.
14.
All right. So as these walls start to like close in and get tighter and tighter, Barnum, you are up first.
He's just now seeing that the ripping of the sheet has started this closing in. He's gonna try to make the bed again, at least stop the walls from closing in.
Yeah, just give me a straight up a sleight of hand as you start seeing if you can make this bed correctly the way it's supposed to be made.
19.
Okay, yeah, you sure enough, you grab that sheet out of his hands and you just sort of start placing it on the bed. Is that all you're doing with your turn?
Yeah, and just to see the reaction to it.
Sure. Simon, it is now your turn.
was there any reaction?
It's about 6 seconds of space right now, where you put it on the bed and then it just seems like the walls are still kind of closing in.
All right. So how is the bed oriented in the room in the direction of the walls? Parallel or
You walk into the room, the bed is parallel with the wall.
all right, well, I'll kick the bed sideways so that now it's extended lengthwise between the two walls.
Got it. Yep. Kick to the bed, and you feel the walls start to keep pushing toward, but you realize that they're going to hit a certain point where the bed is going to stop them from pushing, or it's just going to break the bed. But right now, it is in the pathway of it. Tanzor.
We're made out of?
The room, it seems to be made out of a stone, like a concrete.
I'm glad it's not wood.
Got a bad feeling
Ow.
about this.
Something touched my leg.
Of anything.
Thank you.
Just gonna start beating on the door.
Cool. Give me an attack. You using your fist here, or you've got peanuts out?
Is the door made out of stone again?
The door is made out of like a reinforced wood. There are little like metal bands all around of it.
Go with fire again.
Yep. You unsheath peanuts. Give me an attack roll.
Oh. Ding. There goes the light bulb.
Light bulb.
Roll damage when you roll this attack roll for me, buddy. Trini, what are you doing?
I was actually headed over to the door to see if I could get it to open for us.
You get your lockpick stuff out. You go over, and as you get set up and ready to go, Tanzor starts beating it down with the fire. Like
That's an 8 for damage, but I can't.
8. No, that's perfect, buddy. And the door seems to give a little bit, and then the wood starts fixing itself. You see it fix itself before your eyes.
Dang it, Tanzor, what did I tell you about peanuts?
Lexi, you're up.
Okay, so I'm looking under the bed to the same point where he saw that like face looking through.
The bed is no longer in the same position it is. Are you still
Well,
going
but-
under the bed?
Like, yeah, but it's still against the same wall. It's just turned the other way, right?
Yes.
Okay, because I want to look under, but look to kind of the same spot where the head came through before.
Do you climb?
Ish.
This is important. Do you climb under the bed, or do you just like get down on your knees? Like, I need to know if you're going under the bed or if you're sticking your head in and looking at this.
I'm sticking my head under the bed.
Yeah. Okay. You don't see a face this time, but you do see a hand that comes out from that spot on the wall.
And I'm gonna cast. Is that my action over with?
I would say that that'll burn your bonus action in your movement.
Okay, so I have an action left.
You do have an action left, unless you're breaking my
Sorry,
game.
guys. I need to grab a cord real quick, and so we're going to be doing some dancing over here.
Oh, let's
Sorry.
do this. No. We'll take a quick intermission after she casts the spell, and that way you can grab cords and stuff like that. So, what spell are you casting?
I don't know if this is gonna work, but I'm gonna cast Charm Person.
As the charm person spell comes out, the ghostly figure of a woman will manifest in the room with all of you, and nod her head as Tidra Coughlin manifests in the space, and
Ooh.
doesn't look charmed. So we're going to
You are too.
we're gonna take an intermission, and we'll see you guys very soon.
gonna come on his. Like that's what was gonna be funny for me. That his phone rang immediately.
Hi, folks. We've been back for about 10 seconds now, and I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in to Indigo Chameleon. We love you guys. Thank you so much for joining. I've been really missing these good Loxodon boys and gals. So we now take you way further into the adventure than I thought possible. As the room stops closing and Tidra Coughlin manifests in this space. She is a young woman with bright red hair. She looks to be sort of ghostly in appearance. Those of you that are wearing your glasses she is leaving faint wisp and little trails in the air in front of her as she moves about the space. She has not said anything. She seems to be looking at Lexi.
Tidra, come into the light.
Hey there, it seems like this house needs some help and we'd like to help things out a little bit. Is there something that we could help you with to make things right? Let's start with an easier question. Where are the children?
He's gonna follow her eyes.
You know.
Is there anything that, or she just kind of scanning everything?
She's looking around the space, and every once in a while she comes back to Lexi's hand, and then.
Oh, is the daylight still on? I thought to see her it had to be off. Okay, daylight's off.
Not that hand.
Oh, the hand with the flower in it? I'm gonna keep druid crafting and making the flower alive.
Her eyes are drawn to it, and she keeps looking around the space again. Everybody give me perception checks as she's looking around this space.
Where's the one flower that we already saw that was already? So I know what I'm looking for.
What are you
Can
looking
I get any
for?
advantage of the flower that we already saw that was
in her
already
hand. It's in her hand. It's in.
Lexi's holding the flower.
Oh, okay. That's the one that was.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought she just picked up a random one.
Well, because it was kind of not completely dead, but then the more the darkness encroached, it got deader and deader, and so I kept bringing it back to life over and over.
You just shine the light on it.
Shine.
Did the flower change when I had the daylight on it? Like, did that flower look super alive, and then it looked like deader and deader and deader, but then it would come to life in the dark? Okay.
Yes.
And it's orange, right?
Yep.
So put the full daylight on it.
Is it like her hair?
It's a similar color. What did you guys get on perception checks? Who got above a 20? Does anyone want to see if they can get above a 20 that has been inspired?
All right, so you add a D10 to it?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I have a 25 now.
So
23.
The two of you are sort of looking, and you're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. You are looking around the space, and as her eyes dart, you see a portion where Lexi's hand is open, and you see these wildflowers all throughout the room, and her eyes dart to a space amongst the orange wildflowers, and it looks like there's the tiniest of tiny spots in this room that's missing a flower. Almost like the puzzle piece. And you, Lexi, you watch as Simon doesn't even say anything. He's just like,
"Hey, Lexi, darling, I think that flower goes right here."
Oh, okay. And I put the flower in the spot.
you place the flower in the spot, and the flower immediately becomes ethereal, joining the rest of the flowers in this space. The tangibility of the flower sort of leaves your hands as it fills into the space. And there is a moment where the spectral image of Teacher Coughlin stops, looking around in a daze, and looks at all of you and acknowledges your presence. And she goes, Who are you?
We're
What are you doing here? You can't be in here.
We're
no,
searching
remember,
for the lost
we're
children.
looking for kids. We're looking for children.
Oh God. I'm sorry. He was so angry at the town.
Who, darling? Who?
Pennywise.
To the basement, guys.
So
Did he
tell
happen to say we all float down here?
No, Pennywise was a very kind man, and he knew what the town thought about me. And so when the town was searching for me because they thought I was practicing magic that was not good, and when it was merely druidic arts to bring flowers to life and to take care of some of the animals and different plants in the area, he kept me here. He created a safe haven for me where I could have all of my plants, and then but he grew angry, and and there was a time where he lashed out at the town, and I promised him I wouldn't leave, and so I never left this space. I would find plates and bits of food that were left out there in the hallway, and I would go and get them, but pretty soon it just years and years went by, and I stayed in this space. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Do you remember passing on?
No.
You know,
I tried once, but he kept me here. His love. The children are safe. I will take care of them.
insight check.
Yeah.
22.
She seems very sincere, and she immediately goes over to the door leading out of the space and takes a deep breath and opens it up and looks back at you all and gestures for you all to follow her.
I follow.
She will lead you out of this room, uh, through the kitchen, um, up a flight of stairs, and past a hallway filled with rooms that a DM took careful, calculated time to design and create. Rooms of such imaginative puzzles and fun ability that you almost wish to go inside the rooms, but there's no time as she leads you to the attic of the house. Yes, Nick.
Why did the DM make it so easy to get to the boss room?
He didn't think he did, and there was a riddle that said you need to use daylight. And the DM thought that once someone cast light and there was light to see, what would be the point of casting a secondary light source? Only a crazy person would do that, because there was plenty of light to see.
Forgot your character.
I forgot my character. But there's a reason why you are the number one Tusk task force, and why they send you in to get the job done. She leads you to
derailing things.
She leads you to a small attic where a skeletal presence is pacing the floors, the same sort of ghostly image that you saw before. This skeletal image has the after image of this ghostly form sort of a few seconds away from it, as the skeletal form paces back and forth, and a group of children are sort of kept sort of cordoned off in the side corner.
Do they look like ghosty children or like lively children?
Lively children. And she steps into the space, and the skeletal figure turns around and he says, Tidra, what are you doing here? And
the gang.
she says, Penny, you can't do this. These children don't reflect the ideas of the town that was years and years ago. You have to let them go. And he sort of lowers his head and gestures towards the children. And the ropes binding them all sort of fall and they go tearing out of this space, not even giving you any sort of second glance as they go tearing out of the space and outside of the room.
Is there anything else other than the two in here? Is there other possible body of a previous crew slash dog around?
Give me investigation checks.
Thank you. Investigation.
Mm-hmm.
17.
You are looking around the space and you don't see any bodies or anything like that. Your blood goes cold as your eyes do dart to the side corner of the room and you see a trunk. A trunk with familiar lettering on it. A trunk that you have seen once before.
Cast a spell magic on it.
Do you have access to that spell?
No, I don't. I tell.
You tell. Yeah? All right.
Nope, I'm not saying nothing.
I who's next to me? I guess is anybody next to me?
First two people to say "I" are standing next to you.
Hi.
I probably would have followed the
Hola.
children out to make sure that they were headed in the right direction.
You follow them out, so you're going to be gone for a little bit as you just make sure
Yep.
that they get out okay.
An attack cat coming in at you.
I like lean over. I'm gonna lean over to Lexi, but like, trunk. Same thing. I don't think it'll work this time because something is giving me a hint that we've learned a lesson from the first time. But trunk explosions.
Learned a lesson from the last time.
Dispel magic.
Well,
Maybe so.
why don't we thoroughly investigate the trunk first?
We're here for we're done what we're here for. The children.
Why don't we just take it back to Tiny and let him figure it out?
Not a bad idea. Can we lift it?
You want to walk past this guy to get it?
I'll tip my head towards
What's
him
in
as
the
I go to
box?
pick up the chest.
You're going for it, okay?
I will walk forward to pick up the chest, and as I do, I will nod my head at Penny.
You go over towards the chest and pull the sheet back, and you see the familiar visage of a doctor you fought once before in his circus, as he sought to set forth his sort of infernal machinations on this world. As you get closer, you see Penny's eyes dart towards you, and his eyes turn a familiar shade of green. And he goes, "What are you doing? Get away from that. See, I told you. They're just like everyone else in this town. They want to take you away. They want to take everything away." And Penny stands forward, and his arms grow longer a little bit. And he reaches forward, and the chest lid goes and begins to slowly open. Go ahead and roll initiative for me, Tusk Task Force. 20 to 25. Oh my goodness. Let me roll initiative. Wow. Okay, that's a nat 1. That is 2 nat 1s for my guys.
Woo!
Look at that.
Because I rolled a nat 1 as well.
All right, 20 to 15.
18.
All right, Trini.
I have a +0 to initiative, and I'm going first. That says something.
15 to 10.
11.
Oh gosh.
Oh my dudes. 11 or 10 to 5.
5.
Okay.
5.
I'm gonna assume you got less than 5, Tanzor. Or you got 5, 7. Okay.
We can't hear you. Oh, I can't hear him. Can you guys hear him?
Not at all. I haven't been able to. Tanzor is first, and then Simon 5-1.
I rolled 4, but I'm not in the room at the moment anyway.
Yeah, so it's gonna take you some time to get up there. And then the trunk, and then Pennywise.
Amazing.
A bit better.
That once.
All right, let's do this, kids. Lexi, you are up first. You feel the malicious energy sort of take hold in the space around you.
Is my daylight spell still active at this point?
It is still active.
Okay. So would it be considered a bonus action or just a movement or whatever to like open up the daylight?
You can just open up the
It's not really
daylight.
a full action. I already cast the spell.
Sure, you can open up the daylight.
What happens when I have daylight go through this room?
As daylight sort of filters about the space, you notice that for a while, it looks like it's illuminating the space and doing what it did downstairs, where it's showing you things that existed and things that don't. And then there is a shuddering from the trunk, and that daylight is pushed backwards towards your hand. I'll grant you that as your bonus action.
Okay. Then for my full action, is Simon anywhere near me?
Simon is on the other side of you, yes. You're standing next to Barnum and Simon.
I'm going to reach towards him. It's too bad that Trini is not here to see this. I just wish she was. I'm going to reach toward him just tenderly, and I'm going to cast haste on him.
Simon, you get haste cast on you. I believe that means your AC goes up by 2, and you get an extra action per turn, my dude. So you've
also got advantage on any dex saving throws. So yeah.
Yep. Okay. That is your turn. That's a good move. Barnum, what are you doing?
Wherever she touched me, that I'd kind of flex that muscle.
Yep.
I am going to pull out the gun.
All right.
I'm going to pull out the gun and take a crack at it. See what happens with it.
What are you firing at, buddy?
I'm shooting at Pennywise.
Yeah. Okay. You take this gun out and you start firing it off at Pennywise. Give me a ranged attack for me as you start firing the squirt gun at Pennywise.
What do I have for ranged? Just dex?
Yeah, it could be dex, and if you're proficient in ranged weaponry, you can look under proficiencies. Yeah.
Actually, no. I have a I can use a crossbow, so I assume. But either way, it's 20.
I'll say that translates into you hit Pennywise, and as you do, you hear this sizzling sound sort of erupt from him. Give me 3d6, buddy.
3d6. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
6.
There's a burning in this sort of scream that issues forth from Pennywise as the water hits him, and he tries his best to sort of get it off of him, like brush it off. But you see that it was very effective, whatever it is. Those smells are still now very much so prevalent in the air around you. Tanzor.
Is this better than sound-wise at all?
Yes.
Yep.
You mentioned that it was flammable, right?
I mentioned that somebody picked up on the fact that it might have been flammable, and if you shared that, you are now somewhat aware of that.
Well, either way, I'm going to attack it with my flaming sword.
Give me, does it take a bonus action or anything to ignite the sword?
I think it does.
I'm fine with that, but I just want to be aware. Okay.
Yes, it does take a bonus action.
All right, so you use your bonus action. Peanuts, get your peanuts here. And then the thing.
Fresh hot peanut.
Yep.
Ooh.
Give me an attack roll.
That would be 24.
You attacking Pennywise?
Yes.
Pennywise screams out in agony. Roll some damage for me as this flaming sword catches him, and you're anticipating the same sort of things that it does before, but Pennywise's bright clown costume catches with a blue fire.
4 slashing damage and 5 fire damage.
So that is 10 fire damage as this thing erupts into flames and he begins to roll on the ground, putting him out. You guys are making fast work of Pennywise with that poor initiative he rolled. There you go. That's Tanzor. Simon.
I will attack him.
Okay. Give
with
me your attacks.
Go ahead. All right. So the first one is a 2, so that doesn't hit.
2 does not hit, unfortunately. Simon springs forward with the sword, and it just Pennywise manages to roll out of the way, and you see a slight shimmering in the air when he does.
So then a 25 for the next one.
25 hits.
And another 25.
Roll damage for both of those attacks. Trini, it is going to take this move and this action to join back in, but at the top, in the next round, you will be back in the room and be a part of it. But the kids have made it all outside and are running away. And thanks, Elephant Lady.
I had this twinge of jealousy just hit me all of a sudden, which has forced me to turn around and head back upstairs.
Yes, this jealousy fuels your steps. All right, what damage you putting out?
16 points of damage.
What kind of damage is this?
Let's see here. It is just from my sword. Slashing damage.
Slashing, okay.
Yep. And then I will add on the Smitey Smites.
That's a smart move.
And I will burn a spell slot.
Smite!
Smite! Okay, and that will do. Just getting the damage here, sorry.
No, it's okay. Try to roll damage or when you roll those attacks, just in case they hit,
Gotcha.
and that way we can keep going.
Okay, so then another. And let's see
This
here.
guy's gonna
So
come back and hit so hard I can feel it.
Trunk is next, then Pennywise, and then back to Lexi.
12 points of damage, radiant damage.
Okay. It looks like it does a little bit more damage to him than the 12. You're noticing that the radiant damage has a little bit more of an oomph to it. The Trunk's turn. The Trunk begins to shake, and as Pennywise outreaches his hand towards it, and a bit of dark energy leaps forward from the Trunk into Pennywise extended hands, and Pennywise stands up, and a big sort of grin plants itself on his face, and he claps his hands, and another Pennywise pops up, and he claps his hands again, and a third Pennywise pops up, and they all sort of smile and have a ghoulish, grim-looking look on their face, and the Trunk closes. That is its move. Now it is Pennywise's turn. Pennywise is going to run forward and sort of latch on to Lexi's back with an attack roll. So that is a 17.
Nope. I'll use my reaction to impose disadvantage on that.
All right. That is only a 15 to hit.
I've got an AC of 15.
Yeah, sorry, my dude. So you kind of run forward and you're like, no, stop. And as you sort of shoulder this one off to the side, this other one latches on to you. Give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
That is a 14 plus 6, 20, not nat.
Okay, these hands sort of reach down and go past her shoulders, and you watch as they dig into her a little bit, and there's this look of like panic, and you see this smile start to creep up on her face, and then she pushes it to the side, but he is still latched onto her back, holding onto her. That is one of the Pennywises. The other one is going to Not like you, Simon, because you're putting out a lot of damage. And I need you to go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw.
All right. That will be 23.
Okay. You feel the magic sort of like reaching forward towards you, and you feel this like chuckle start. And
Oh, sorry. Everybody that's within 10 feet of me also gets a +5 to all savings throw.
okay, that's something that they need to be aware of. So
Yeah.
so
Sorry.
keep that in mind, guys. Right now, that's Trini and no, that's
Lexi.
not Trini. It's Lexi and Barnum. So Lexi and Barnum, you'll get a +5. You manage to fight it off, but the other one comes up behind you, and oh, that's good. That is a 19. A 19 against AC?
Nope.
No. What is your AC right now?
22.
Haste.
Haste. There we go. This thing sort of swings out its hand, forming into a giant club, and smashes into you. But you are just too fast, and you are able to dodge out of the way as it makes its way through. Well done, gang. We go back to the top of the initiative order with you. Lexi.
Okay, I am going to, and I realize I only have one of these actually listed right now that I can access. I'm going to wild shape into a rat to get this thing to let go of me.
All right.
A mouse. It's better if it's a mouse because I'm an elephant.
You use your action to wild shape into a little mouse. It's going to give me a dex save. Give me a dex save to see if you can dodge out of the way of this thing as it tries to grab onto you as you wild shape.
And I get a +5 to saves right now?
Yeah, you do.
Yep.
Okay, so it's a good thing because I have a +0 for dex save.
Okay.
So that is a 17.
The 19, it manages to grab onto you. It just, and like, so it's not doing anything. It's just got this big smile. But you see as she shrinks down to that of a rat, and this figure sort of grabs onto her and holds it up.
Since wild shape is my bonus action, can I at least bite it?
Yes, I would allow you to bite it.
Too much.
All right, give me an attack roll.
Wow, that's stinky. Well, that's a 3. Never mind.
It doesn't really register it that well. Barnum.
Okay.
Yeah. He's gonna look at the Pennywise that is holding the mouse.
The mouse.
Rat.
Got it.
Yeah. And it's like, you like making people laugh, so it's my turn now, and then I'm gonna use Tasha City's laughter.
All right, wisdom save, right?
Wisdom 17.
It fails its save, so all of a sudden it just starts and starts laughing hysterically, rolling around on the ground. I will say that lets go of you at that point too, Lex. So you are let go as this thing starts laughing.
All right.
Bonus action?
Bonus action. It's time to look real good, folks. I'm going to use Mantle of Inspiration.
Yep.
As a bonus action, spend 1 bardic inspiration. Everyone gets 8 temporary hit points, and you can move up to your movement speed.
Does anybody choose to use this ability? You know what?
It does not promote opportunity attacks.
Does anybody choose to use this movement?
I didn't hear it. He got out for the movement part for me. We get a what movement?
You get you can immediately use each creature can immediately use its reaction to move up to its speed without provoking opportunity attacks.
Oh yeah. No, I'm gonna move out of the way of this Pennywise thing.
All right, you just start skittering around the floor. Where are you moving towards? Back towards the entrance or back towards the trunk?
I'm gonna move towards the trunk.
Cool.
What's the range on this mantle?
I get the 4 creatures within 60 feet of me.
Yeah, you're in there by now.
Okay, I'm going to take my movement and try to get as close
to
the room as possible, getting up to the room. I don't know if I'm inside or...
I would say that this puts you right at the entrance to the room.
Okay.
All right. That is your turn. Tanzer, you're up. Simon, you're up after that.
for more slashes.
Uh-oh, you got a little frozen.
He is a nat 20 is what he rolled.
Nat 20. You and your brother, man. You're never allowed to play D&D with me ever again. All right, roll damage for me.
Overall.
Okay. How much damage total? Doubled? Yeah. How much?
Doubled.
Yeah, but how much was
18
fire damage? Because the fire damage is doing more, I think, than the other.
fire damage.
Okay. The fire damage doesn't seem to be burning through. It looks like it burned through whatever sort of flammable material was on it. So it's still doing quite a bit as one of the Pennywises goes down, just falls into a little crumbled heap and sort of burns away into this space.
And these are all undead, right?
You don't know. Is there? I mean, you would assume it would be a good assumption, but are you doing something to test this?
Well, only because if they're undead, the smite does an additional 1d8.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you're. I think I mentioned that some of the radiant damage that you're doing is doing a little bit extra. So yes, roll that extra d8. Are you doing anything with your bonus action, Tansword?
Yes, you bonus action.
Because you
Go for another attack.
Okay.
20 not nat.
Okay, 20 not nat. Yep, that hits. Roll damage for that as well.
Punch him in the face.
6 slashing damage and 9 fire damage.
Okay, one of the other Pennywise sort of manifestations starts taking the first damage that it's taken, as it sort of lights up and stuff like that. Are you hitting the one that's laughing on the ground, or are you hitting the other one? Other one?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's still laughing. Got it. All right. Simon, before you go, no one else is standing next to the trunk except for Lexi, correct?
You're correct.
Okay, a tentacle goes shooting out of the trunk, utilizing its lair action, and starts running towards Lexi. Lexi, give me a dexterity saving throw without the +5, because you are no longer within 5 feet of Simon.
13.
This tentacle wraps around you, and the trunk opens and starts dragging you towards its gaping maw. Cool. So, Simon, now it's your turn.
Okay. I will attack. You have done it again, sir. I will attack the chest.
Great. What are you doing?
Swinging the old sword at it.
Good. Give me an attack roll.
All 3 attacks.
Please hit. Let's keep
well,
going.
Does a 14 hit?
It does not.
Okay, that's 2 attacks that don't hit. The last one was 16 plus
20 total?
22.
22 hits.
Okay. All right, so then that will be.
Trini, get ready. You're up next.
It is
9. So 22 total damage.
Okay. Cracks start creeping up the sides of this trunk as whatever sort of energy is holding it together feels weakened. That is Simon's turn. What are you doing, Trini?
Well, can I just say missed opportunity? If Alexi had run towards the door as opposed to the trunk, I could have come in screaming about the mouse that I saw. And am I aware what's going on with the trunk and the mouse and the rat?
You see a trunk in the side of this room with tentacles, and if you hadn't 30 seconds ago established that you do not like mice, I would say that you would be concerned about this. However, you have
Okay.
just told me
I don't like mice. I don't know that she's a mouse, is what I'm asking.
you don't.
Correct. All right. I am going to fire at the Pennywise that is not currently
Laugh.
rolling on the ground
Give,
laughing.
give me an attack roll.
I've brought out my short bow
Yep,
and making the shot with the short bow.
I love it.
And that would be a plus 18 to hit.
Mm-hmm. 18 hits?
And then sneak attack.
Yes, absolutely. You have the chance of taking him out right now.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 plus 5 would be 21 points of damage.
Cool. You sort of send this a short bow arrow, and it boops him on the snoot, and that is all the energy that it needs to dissipate the form of this creature as Trini has entered the game.
And as a bonus action, I'm going to go ahead and do a hide.
Where?
I look around, and if there's some shadows or anywhere that would hide somebody of my svelte nature.
There's close to the front door, and then there's a little ways where you see Simon battering a trunk off in the sort of corner of the room.
Okay, I'm heading towards that direction.
Perfect. Okay.
But hiding carefully. I'm so tiny that
give me a stealth roll.
I'm like a ghost.
Give me a stealth roll. You felt Loxodon you.
With main Pennywise gone, there's still one rolling on the ground. Correct?
There is still one rolling on the ground.
And that's a 17 on my stealth.
Yeah. You think you're pretty stealthy and hit against that back wall.
Oh, I know I am.
Yeah.
Nobody can see me.
Mike, give me a strength saving throw, please. Actually, no. Give me a dexterity saving throw, please. I don't know if you get this +5. I think it's your allies. Does this go to you as well?
Yeah, it's everybody inside of my aura.
Double check that. I think it's like...
I'm not sure that it does.
It has on my thing that I get a +5 on my save, so it's automatically in my...
DDB's doing that for you?
Yep.
Well, what is this move called? Aura of protection or aura of courage?
Hold on, let me see here. Protection while wielding a shield. No, wait, no, wrong one.
Whenever you are a friendly creature within 10 feet of you, make a saving throw. The creature gains a bonus to the saving throw equal to your charisma. You've got a +5 to charisma?
Yep. My charisma's 20.
All right. Yep, so that counts.
Why do you think I'm so attracted to this?
Yeah, no, that counts for you as well. So give me a dex save, but add that +5.
Okay.
He has a higher charisma than I do.
Duh. Why do you think I'm attracted to him and not you?
17.
17 just makes it as another tentacle wraps out of the chest and wraps itself around your leg, and almost like it's doing the same thing with a rat, but you manage to pull your leg back. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That is its turn. The trunk now will open its lid ever. Give me probability dice, please, Lexi.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Oh.
That's a 17.
Oof.
The tentacle will pull forward. I will give you one more dexterity saving throw here, and you can add a +5 because she is there.
Never mind.
I rolled a 2.
With the 5, it's a 7. So this thing pulls you towards the lid and in. We
Is she
will
taking any damage?
not yet.
And not that we know of.
You don't know.
Well, no, because if it does any damage to me, I'm back to being an elephant inside the trunk.
You are.
So the second, I know this. It's not my turn though right now, right?
It is not. It is Pennywise's turn as he makes a wisdom save
Still 17.
and fails and continues to
Yes.
laugh on the ground. Lexi, this is what you see. You see a dark green and red expanse with flashing lights as the good doctor who you fought once before sits on a throne with multiple tentacles sort of leaving this throne in this particular plane. He draws you ever closer to where he is, and he sort of tilts his head to the side. And he goes, I remember you. You're one of the elephants. But you don't look like one. What are you doing?
Okay, so am I like really close to him now?
You're moving slowly towards him.
I'm face to face.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is a broad expanse. This does not feel like something that if I turn into an elephant, I'm gonna explode out of trunk. This is bigger on the inside sort of space.
Yes, like any good doctor worth his salt, you're in an area where it's bigger on the inside right now.
Cool, I'm in the right t-shirt then. Okay. So I'm going to cast invisible. Can I? Oh, I can't drop down. He's grabbing me, isn't he?
You cannot cast spells currently while you are.
Because I'm grappled, basically.
There are somatic components. Your little tiny rat hands are just.
Okay. Then the only wild shape that I have that's considered a large. No, he's grabbing me. Okay, cool. I bite my own finger because he's grabbing a little tiny mouth. So I want to do 1 point of damage to myself so that what he's grabbing is now an elephant.
Can't you just
That'll get him to let
drop
go of me.
shape
You could
change?
just drop wild shape.
Drop
Wild
it.
shape?
Oh, okay. Then I drop wild shape. Yeah, I guess I could.
It's-
That makes sense. That's
It's-
logical.
I mean,
But if you want to bite yourself, I mean, that's okay too.
Logical.
I love
Okay,
this.
drop wild shape
I love
because
this.
I'm trying to escape the grapple.
I love this backstory of Lexi never learned how to drop wild shape. She only learned how to wild shape. Like she's just like
damage yourself out of it.
I gotta go back.
It's canon now. It's canon.
All right.
That's going on the Tuscaloosa board.
Lex, you are dropped as this weight is too much for the tentacle, and as you sort of slip through the tentacle's grasp, he sort of cocks his head and smiles and says, be seeing you, and you start flowing backwards, almost like the same path that you came through, and Lex, you fall out of the trunk, almost as if you've been ejected outward.
Okay,
You guys
was
watched.
that my action?
That was your action and your bonus action.
The action was getting ejected out of the trunk.
I will give you a bonus action. What do you want to do?
Well, my bonus action was dropping the wild shape.
Then give me an action. What do you want, Lexi?
I don't know.
Tell me what you want.
What to do? I just wanted to clarify. Then fine, my bonus action is going to be to hit the lid of that trunk really hard and produce flame. I'm going to try to light that trunk on fire.
Light it up.
See, I'm not the only
What I want to do is run whatever plan you have with something simple that you just didn't think.
Sure. Lex, give
Do you think
me.
for a minute those rooms aren't going back to the Christopher version? You're wrong.
Yeah.
Produce flame?
Yeah. A flickering flame appears in your hand. The flame remains there for the duration. Sheds bright light. Blah blah. You can also attack with the flame, although doing so is a spell. When you cast a spell as an action, you hurl the flame at a creature within 30
All
feet
right.
of you. Make a spell attack.
So give me a attack roll at disadvantage as you're up close on this thing. You're making a ranged attack roll against it.
Yeah, but normally, okay.
Yeah, but normally a campfire will just blow up.
Well, because it goes in my hand.
Oh, so you're keeping? Wait. No. This
Yeah,
is
It's
this
in
is
her
good.
hand. She's slapping the hand on the
Perfect.
trunk.
No. She's maintaining contact with it. Awesome. That's great. That's your turn.
Okay.
You're maintaining contact, physical contact with the chest, and you're doing fire damage to it.
I just.
Give me a what damage you would roll if you would roll the attack roll.
It would be 2d8.
Yep. Give me 2d8.
I rolled an 8 and a 1. That's 9 points of damage.
This chest cracks a little bit more as Lexi places her hand on it and starts channeling fire through it. Barnum.
I don't know really what to do now. This is so crazy. Because he is still on the ground laughing. We have an elephant that just got ejected from a chest. I'm so interested to see what's inside this chest.
Take me.
You want to?
No,
You
I
wanna
haven't.
do
That's
it?
what you're saying.
But she's cracking the chest.
Come on, buddy. A few seconds
Yeah,
left.
yeah, I know. I'm gonna run up and like, I'm just gonna cast enhance ability. I'm gonna run up and touch Simon. I'm like, just crack the chest, please, and cast heroism on him.
Heroism. All right.
Oh, not heroism. Excuse me, not heroism. Enhance ability. And
That's
give him
skill
bull strength.
checks, just as a heads up. But I think bull strength gives them extra HP.
It gives him extra strength.
Gives them
mental
extra strength, but it's skill checks. It's not for attack rolls.
Oh, is it not for attack rolls?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna cast fairy fire on the chunk then.
Okay. Trunk's not going to make a dex save, but let me roll just for giggles. Nope. This thing lights up with fairy fire.
Just hit it. Let's crack it. Let's go home. And then that's all. That's all I'm gonna do.
Tanzer.
I'm gonna.
I don't know quite what I could do.
I think he just said he's going to attack the trunk as well.
Hitting the trunk as well. Great. Give me attack rolls.
You're at advantage.
24. Yep, that hits. Give me damage.
Another.
I might have to have you translate.
I didn't catch it.
6 slash.
6 slash.
You got. What was the flame damage?
5 flame damage. 5 flame damage. Yep, that's enough. The chest all of a sudden cracks one more time with a and the wood slats expand and then implode inward, coming in and forming a small nexus. Now, as these chests start moving inward, no one else is touching it, except for Lexi, who maintained contact with it to keep the flame going. As these chess pieces go inward, a small hole opens up and sucks all the pieces forward, and Lexi, you are drawn for it. Give me a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage with a +5.
Oh my gosh, I rolled a 19 and a 20. So it's 19 plus 5 is a 24.
Okay. Lexi, your hand is drawn inward, but you manage to stay on the outside of it as this hole continues to sort of pull everything in it from the outside. All of a sudden, Pennywise stops laughing and sees what is happening and sort of nods his head and comes over and tries to hold on to you to pull you out of this hole. Once again, there is a large nexus that is sucking bits of the house inward towards it. And we are going to keep initiative order. You are so far out of combat, but there is a large hole. Lexi's hand is being pulled into the inky black darkness. Barnum.
And the Pennywise is holding her.
He's trying to hold her and keep her out of it.
Now, have we gone back to the top, or
that was Lexi's turn with the trunk exploding and her making the move. No, you know what? Lexi, your turn. That was the trunk, and then Pennywise, and then Lexi, it's your turn.
Okay, so
no? Wait,
Why
because
is Lexi
Trini
going
hasn't
again?
had a chance to go yet.
You're right.
yeah.
Tanser went. Simon, it's your turn.
When's Trini? Is she at the bottom of the?
I'm at the very bottom. somewhere.
Tanser broke it. The chest exploded.
Oh,
she made
okay.
the deck save. Simon, it's your turn.
Okay.
Trini, you're after Simon.
Gotcha. Okay, so then I will go to. I'm gonna kick her away from this.
Okay.
I want to bat her away with like the flat edge of the sword, but I don't know if that's gonna be good enough. So I'm gonna try and kick her away from.
You're gonna open the door.
Yep.
You're
Lexi's
gonna open-
door.
I'm gonna open the door to her heart
Yeah.
and
Give me an
But
attack roll.
either kicking me or hitting me with a sword, you can't decide which.
Give me
I'm
an
trying to-
attack.
I want to know
That's
which
my
one's gonna
Simon.
save your life.
That's
I'm gonna
my
try and
Simon.
Save your life.
I think I still had a bonus action, but it's fine.
No, you're
Hang
done.
All right. All right.
I want to see her get kicked. No.
So I still get 3 attacks, right?
You do.
Okay. So the first one's a 21. Well, and that should hit her AC, right?
Paddle ball her across the room.
Oh, wait a second. Actually,
Back and scratch.
Produce Flame is not a concentration spell. So, nope. Yep, she's maintaining concentration on the spell. So, yeah, go ahead. 3 attacks against
Well, and no, because the thing is, I don't get to produce flame if it's an attack. Like if I got that 2d8, then it happens and it's done. It's not still happening.
No,
It
was
only
just-
still
I was
happens
just-
when I'm white.
I was just
No, you were
checking to see if you dropped haste.
Well, and
Oh.
would have her wild shape dropped haste, or can she maintain concentration through wild shape and everything that was going on?
why would you do that to against your own team?
Does
I've been in his seat
wild-
before.
Does
I
wild
don't
shape?
think wild shape is concentration.
So it drops haze.
I will double check, but I don't think so.
I wonder if wild shape drops concentration.
I don't think it
But
does.
her being pulled into the with
She
her
was
being
pulled into a
a
trunk.
chest, break
Another,
concentration.
and then pumped out. I mean,
Wow! Thanks, guys.
she
Listen,
did
we're
bite
saving you
herself
getting-
as well. I don't know if the bite had anything to do with it.
Listen,
Yeah,
we're trying
you know
to so you
what?
don't
Give
get hit
me.
twice.
I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Transforming does not break your concentration on a spell you've already cast.
It does not, but biting yourself does.
Yeah, she didn't actually bite herself though. She just dropped it.
All right, cool. Now you're good.
Just trying to get some saving graces here with the rest of the team.
Give me 3 attacks then, buddy.
Okay. So
That's what you get for touching my man.
so the first one's 22, then 2 23s.
All of those hit, roll damage. Yeah.
Wait. I was just trying to make contact to get her back. So
you
how do
can
we
s-
establish that?
Rolling that much damage.
You can specify on non-lethal, but you
Well,
have,
yeah, I'm
you have
just
the
trying to
option.
kick her away.
My dude, you had the option of picking her up, of dragging her back. You decided to this is Sparta her away from the hole.
Yes,
You
I
were
want to
very
Sparta
specific.
her away from this hole.
This is going
We
to
saw what happened with This Is Sparta, didn't you? That
You
was not good
remember-
for the Sparta dude.
You remember in Peter Pan when he goes through the sail and you just see his outline, like silhouette? Like, I feel like that's going to be me through every single wall of the house, all the way to outside. We just
I just see it as him like taking this giant paddle ball. Boom, she gets sucked in again. Boom, she gets sucked in again. Boom,
like, you see Alexi-sized
And then
holes
it's
in like 4 walls.
Roll damage, my dude. Live your truth. Three unarmed attacks.
Just love taps. They're just love taps.
Okay, all right.
With his foot. Love taps with his foot.
Okay, so it's well, it does automatic forward on all of them.
It does.
There's no bonus to that.
Okay. So
And I'm not gonna smite her. I'm not gonna roll the.
Now give me the concentration check.
Does it knock her back?
It does. Boom, boom, boom. Three swift kicks to the midsection. Bam, bam, bam. Give me 3 concentration checks.
He's almost not prone at that point.
That's me.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
She can't even concentrate on what to roll.
Oh my gosh. Do I still get to add the +5 because he's within 5 feet of me while he's hitting me this hard?
Yeah.
Those are only saving throws. I don't think they count for concentration
Oh,
checks.
concentration checks. I was going for saving throws. No,
So,
okay. Concentration checks. Got it.
Constitution.
Never mind. Constitution checks. Got it. Okay, so the first one is a 14. The second
Good.
one is a 21.
Good.
And the third one is a nat 1.
Fail.
Here's what happens. He goes, kick, kick, kick. The third one pushes her back from the portal. He goes, I did it! And then all of a sudden, the haste spell drops, and a wave of lethargy hits Simon, and Simon gets sucked completely through the portal. Because after the haste spell, they are unable to move. They are unable to react. They are unable to do anything. They are completely, utterly, unescapably exhausted for 6 seconds. And that is all the portal needs. I will give Trini and I will give Barnum a dex save to see if they can grab him.
Oh, dice roll high.
In the
There's no way
weirdest
I
turn of events in the history of the world, Simon broke his own concentration spell.
There's no way I could inspire on this, can there? 6 seconds? Nothing.
Not yourself. No.
13.
No, can I give it to Trini? Please use the fastest hand.
This is just a dex check. Is that what we're doing?
I honestly think it's this should honestly be a strength save here.
Oh god.
Well, don't I have to catch him first?
Catch him, dex save to catch him, and then strength save to hold him.
Well, I don't know if I've got a 16 on the dex.
You catch him.
Yeah, and I've got a 17 on the deck save.
Okay, so you both sort of catch a hand.
And a straight 15 on the strength check.
He gets dragged in butt and tail first. Give me a strength.
It's a 12.
His butt is sticking through this thing as he gets close. Would anyone?
So is he face to face with us, or is his head gone in first?
He's face to face with you. You each have a hand.
I am totally wrapping Trunks right now. I don't care what he says. I'm wrapping Trunks.
The scene is that of this portal with him being sort of sucked in by the back and Trini wrapping her trunk lovingly around him. And you jump, I jump, Jack. And there's this moment where we can even hear the music. Would anyone like to do anything in this moment? We are currently out of initiative.
I can help. And this is a really fitting way to help.
Now, I don't have a free hand right now, do I?
You do not, and Barnum does not.
Well, thanks to that lovely way that he had to help me out, I have an equally lovely way to help him out.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Thornwhip.
What you meant to say was break the stick.
Thornwhip.
Pixie stick, pixie stick, pixie stick.
So he's going to 6 piercing damage, but it does pull him 10 feet closer to me.
Give me an attack roll.
He's got a 22 AC.
No, he's got a 20 AC.
That is a 16.
Does not hit.
Well, yeah, he wouldn't have his shield still, though.
He would not. He would have dropped the shield, so that's another 2. So he's down to 18. And she rolled a 16?
I rolled a 16.
I love that. You know, happens.
But he's also not moving. Yeah, the Thorn Whip grabs on. Roll damage. It's too good of an image not to do. It's the Thorn Whip wraps around his legs and does damage.
It's only 4. I rolled 2 2s. However, it still pulled him up to 10 feet closer to me.
You start pulling and pulling and pulling, and as you do, this is what happens. Like, your butt is still in the portal, but she pulls and your head flops backward. Simon, as your head flops backwards through this portal right before you're pulled in, you make eye contact with that clown presence that you fought once before. And he looks at you, Simon, and he moves slightly to the side. And you look and you see this wide open expanse and spaces with a bunch of tiny little portals open all over the place. And he goes, "Hey, Simon, guess how many trunks I have?" And your head is pulled through with the Thorn Whip, and the portal closes with you safe on the ground, taking Thorn Whip damage. Barnum, you sort of scoot backwards, and you fall directly onto Trini, your trunks entwined.
Okay.
Not only our trunks, but I think our lips meet at this point.
You know what? Give me. No, it's too good of an image. Your lips meet, and the heroic kiss happens, and that's where we're gonna end tonight's episode of Lost.
No, it ends with the twinkle, like
Yeah.
a little twinkle in my eye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to our Loxodon episode, as we've established a big bad with trunks all over the place, affecting the poor circus goers that came and worked for him at various points, as the group now has a way of tracking down these trunks, and who knows where they might end up. Thank you so much. Hey, stick around, because we're going to do something cool. Oh, we've got the death match coming up. But stick around, because we're going to go do something, right, Indigo?
Yeah, let's head over to, we're going to stick around. We're going to raid random encounters as soon as we go out here. So if you stick around and say hello to them, they're an awesome group. And yeah.
All right, stick around, gang. We'll see you in a second. And thanks for tuning in. Indigo Connect.
Yay!
The new love of my life. Simon has never been in love before. This must be what it feels like.
This must be thorns and thorns and all.
Yeah. It hurts so good.
Did we do it?
Yes, we did. We're there.
Did we raid them?
We
Yep,
did.
we're over there. I just forgot to turn my volume on. But they probably won't be able to say anything because they're in the middle of a D&D game, but still, they're good people.
They're very good people.
I can't hear them.
Cool. That was fun. That was so much fun.
That was
So
awesome.
I missed
Yay.
that. Who kissed Simon at the end?
Trini did.
Simon
Nice.
Trini.
I'm so happy.
She was
So
totally
happy.
trunk locked with him and then lip locked.
I'm so happy.
My mom said it would happen one day for me.
Oh, did you?
One day.
I want to try a gunslinger at one point. That looks fun.
That would be fun. So, Billy.
Okay, hang on. Let me go ahead and end this stream.
Oh, you didn't end the stream?